Now, a couple months ago, I had a mini series where I looked at horrible 3am challenge YouTube channels. Some channels didn't make the cut during that series that only lasted throughout October, and that was fine. I was gonna look at these other channels at another time. But the channel that was going to be excluded from both times I talked about these 3am channels was ArcadeCraniacs. The biggest reason why was because the channel was pretty much a meme that was self-aware with its content. The channel was made up of two people, Edward and Nicole. They would create ArcadeCraniacs in 2017, and their channel would really explode in 2020 when the two would upload this video titled 24-Hour Overnight in Chuck E. Cheese Arcade. This video would give the channel direction into the creepier and more cringier side of YouTube, and that side of the platform was 3am challenge videos. The channel would grow to over 3 million subscribers as of today, but since Nicole and Edward broke up almost half a year ago, the channel has fallen off in views. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the dark side of ArcadeCraniacs, the serious allegations against Edward, and the eventual breakup and departure of Nicole. ArcadeCraniacs would upload their first video on August 2nd, 2017, just a little under a month since Edward would create the channel. ArcadeCraniacs started out as a couple channel that would go to different arcade machines and would film them either winning a prize or ending the video empty-handed. Honestly, I have no clue how they even got views off of this content. I know it's a very small niche, but still it was very low quality and they really didn't put that much effort into their videos at first. Their views would slowly start to climb, with some videos hitting around 10,000 views, with others exploding in views like this video, and also this video, mostly because the main thing that's sticking out in the thumbnails, which happens to be Nicole. This would be where it all started to click for Edward. He saw the strategy of clickbait and ran with it. He would use Nicole as his thumbnails to pull in more views with every upload. With Nicole as a thumbnail, he knew that he could gain a fan base centered around Nicole's looks. We will come back to that later on in the video. These arcade and carnival game videos would last for a while until lockdown happened in 2020. This is where things started to change for ArcadeCraniacs. With the lockdown in full swing and businesses closed, it would be very hard for the duo to go out and play arcade games. This was a very big issue because the foundation of this channel was all about these two going to different claw machines to get content. With all the businesses closed, they were no longer able to get that content. The two would upload this video where they would talk about how every arcade in their area would be closed due to the lockdown and that they wouldn't know when they would be able to visit another arcade after that video.
There's no one here. At this time, there'd be kids swarming Chucky, people holding tickets, people eating pizza as they're playing the games, not thinking about germs. But what we want to do, we want to talk about the whole gist of this whole coronavirus destroying arcade businesses and the arcade community on YouTube. It's a very sad thing.
So they had to make a change. The two would start to experiment with new videos alongside the remaining claw machine videos that they had pre-recorded. They would do unboxing videos, couple challenges, and then they would hit their jackpot. Chuck E. Cheese would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that was one of the biggest topics during the summertime in the early stages of the pandemic. Edward saw the success with the last Chuck E. Cheese video and saw another opportunity to gain views on his video. After this first video, ArcadeCraniacs would upload around 55 other videos on Charles Entertainment Cheese. These videos would all catch the eye of one of the biggest commentary channels on YouTube. Charlie would react to ArcadeCraniacs videos on his channel, giving them a spotlight of interest for people that didn't know of this channel. This would give them some hate, but even negative publicity helps out a channel like theirs. Just look at Jay Station's channel, where he faked his girlfriend's death for some views, and ultimately it still paid off. This publicity would blow up their channel, and they would also start to gain a lot of traction on TikTok, and it seemed like I couldn't swipe through my For You page during 2020 without stumbling across an ArcadeCraniacs video. The channel ArcadeCraniacs was at the top of their popularity and would collab with other content creators in their niche. But when you build your foundation out of sand opposed to concrete, the more you build on that sandy foundation, the more unstable your foundation becomes. And just as quickly as ArcadeCraniacs explode in popularity, they would fall just as quick. In October of 2021, the fans of ArcadeCraniacs would be hit with some shocking news. Edward would go on live on his Instagram and would start crying and explaining that the two broke up a month ago and how he never saw the true value in Nicole and how he mistreated her.
I'm a crap human, dude. Like, I don't deserve nothing in life. I don't deserve nothing, dude. Nicole's like the most amazing woman in the world, dude. I fucking love her, dude. She's such a fucking genuine soul, such a nice person. She's such a nice person, dude. And I messed everything up in the beginning of our relationship, dude.
In an attempt to get sympathy from his audience, and as a result, people felt really bad for Edward and would end up attacking Nicole because she didn't want to get back together with Edward, and the fans of ArcadeCraniacs saw that Nicole moved on from Edward. The two would go back and forth on Instagram, with Nicole putting a lot of screenshots onto her story, and as a result, Edward would respond on his own Instagram story saying that she was lying and that she was irrelevant without ArcadeCraniacs. Here's his compilation of videos that he put up onto his story.
I cannot believe what the fuck I just read on Nicole's story, making the worst fake fucking accusation about me. Now, I have not even talked about her in fucking months so we could move on with our fucking lives, but she always has to bring my fucking name up so she could be relevant because she's irrelevant now. I legit have proof on the next story to show you that it's all bullshit. You can't believe everything on the fucking internet. Fuck that shit, dude. And you know what? You know what's the most fucked up thing? Is that a lot of you guys have no idea what happens behind the scenes when we broke up. Has she called me saying that she misses me, how much she loves me, how she did the worst decision in her life in breaking up with me? I legit have proof, okay? But to her, I'm the worst person. And that's all she does, is talk about me. Only my name. Only my fucking name. Only my name, dude. But I can never show you that, right? I can never show you that we hung out multiple times after we broke up. You know why? Because she's like, no, don't tell nobody because it's gonna make me look weak. Like, what? You know how much I took care of her? You know all the things I've done for her? Literally got made fun of the channel when I made it in the beginning. She was embarrassed of it. When she saw the money come in, now she's not embarrassed of it. I reply to all the fans, talk to all the fans. Even when fans come up to us and talk to us, try to take a picture with us, we have someone over here. I don't know where it cut off right now, but when fans will come up to us, they'll conversate with us, and they'll conversate with me because I'm legit trying to talk to the fans. While after, when they go away, she goes in my ear, she's like, "Can we go? I don't want to see nobody else." It's like, what? Bro, that's the people that are fucking blessing you. Those are the people that are following you. Those are the people that are watching your fucking videos, and you can't give a moment of your fucking time to the fans? A fucking little kid, bro?
About a week later, Nicole would upload this video titled "I Was Groomed, Hidden in Plain Sight." This video would be an hour-and-a-half long and would have a serious deep dive into Nicole's upbringing and serious allegations against Edward. I'm going to break down and summarize the most important parts of this video, and I'll add in parts of her video in place of my summary that need more context. So let's begin. Also, before we start, I have to give you all a trigger warning because it does get pretty serious and bad. So if that's something that you don't want to watch, you can skip to the end. Nicole would start this hour-and-a-half long video stating that Edward groomed her when she was 17. She would show evidence that Edward knew she was 17 but continued to still keep a conversation with her over Instagram.
We began talking and flirting with each other on April 6th, 2016. He DM'd me first and we struck up a conversation. He asked me how old I was and I told him the truth. I told him that I was 17, and he initially made a joke saying that he was 16, which I kind of believed because firstly I was so naive and I just couldn't really tell from his profile, honestly. But he clarified after he said the joke that he was indeed 23 years old. And from my perspective, my 17-year-old perspective, it felt cool to be talking to him. It felt cool to be chosen by somebody so much older than me.
Nicole would talk about her very first experience with Edward on their very first date, where Edward would buy her alcohol as a 17-year-old, and she got so drunk that she passed out and woke up topless with only a jacket around her shoulders covering her upper body because Edward said that she threw up all over herself and that she got so drunk that he thought she needed medical attention, but instead he contemplated dropping her off in front of her apartment complex so that he wouldn't get in trouble for getting a minor alcohol.
I was going out with him and we were drinking together all night. On our first date together, he took me to a park after we went to the liquor store, and he bought a bottle of Peach New Amsterdam and Cactus Cooler. So right after that, we started making out and we walked back to his car. But as soon as I opened up the door and sat down, I blacked out. I completely blacked out. And when I woke up several hours later, all I smelled was just throw up. Like the stench of vomit, and I was topless. I had a jacket over my shoulders, like covering my boobs, and I was really confused. I was like, what happened? And apparently I threw up all over my shirt and all over my pants, and so he had taken off my shirt to put the jacket on over it. And by the way, this is something that he would constantly bring up and be like, oh, well, you're so lucky I didn't do anything to you. Anybody else would have.
When Nicole woke up, she asked if Edward could go and buy her some new pants because her old ones smelled like throw up, which is reasonable, but he said no. Instead, he would buy her grilled cheese and then drop her off at home. She would state that he would single-handedly but slowly turn her into an alcoholic with how often he wanted to drink with her. This would be the start of some major allegations thrown at Edward, and it would only get worse from here. Nicole would talk about how controlling Edward was when they first started dating, and how it would be a reoccurring theme throughout their relationship.
He never liked me going anywhere where men might be. If men even might be there, I had no business being there because I might cheat, and he knew how guys are.
Nicole would talk about all the times she would sleep over at Edward's house, get so drunk, pass out, and then once she was passed out, Edward would leave to go and sleep with his ex-girlfriend, who he was still obsessed with.
And while he would reiterate to me so many times all these things about his ex-girlfriend that he cheated on me with, the one that's an adult, the one that mocked me as I was a teenager.
Later on, when they started the channel, she would talk about how she felt really uncomfortable when she had to make the thumbnails for the arcade videos because Edward would use her looks to get clickbait thumbnails, but would also criticize her looks at the same time. Nicole said that he would force her to be over-sexualized for the thumbnail to have people click on it, and again, this was in public, where he would force her to retake the thumbnail while people were walking around until Edward felt like it was good enough to be clickable. Now we get to the start of lockdown. Nicole tells us how she was feeling at her lowest and that she just wanted to get out of this relationship, but with Edward being so controlling and manipulating her, it would be a struggle for her to leave, especially because she had nowhere else to go. Again, I am paraphrasing because Nicole goes more in depth in her video and some of these talking points. So if you do want to see her version of it, check the link in the description of this video. This again would leave Nicole feeling trapped. She would speak about how during lockdown, she was able to see the fraud that Edward really was. How he would act like he was in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, but behind closed doors and with the cameras off, he would have a different set of views on the matter.
I'm sorry if this sounds petty, but the most egregious part of all of this to me was the fact that he would make fun of me so aggressively for supporting the Black Lives Matter movement while at the same time posting how he's an ally on his story on Instagram, which goes hand in hand with his entire personality, honestly, because if you believe anything he's telling you for 1 second, just know that he's a great actor.
Nicole would say that she was taking a trip to New York but didn't tell Edward that she was going there. And when Edward found out, he acted like he was having a heart attack and would act as if he was dying so that Nicole wouldn't leave.
He literally pretended to have a heart attack, I swear to God. And maybe I'm a little evil for saying this, but it was honestly a little funny. I was standing at my closet getting stuff out, and he kept trying to convince me that Anu is evil, she's brainwashing you, blah, 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 blah. And so I got pissed and I ended up yelling at him. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to yell, but I was yelling. And this is what he did. He went, and he like ran to the bed in the living room and threw himself on it and was like, and I just ignored it because I was like, I don't know what the hell to do about this. I have tickets to go to New York tomorrow, so I don't know what to do about this. And so I ignored it. And what do you know? Just a few minutes later, he comes back and acts like it didn't happen.
She would end her video by telling us the reason why she took so long to come out with this video, and it was a very good reason.
So yeah, call me money hungry, but if this video gets monetized somehow, I'm donating the money to something for women that are getting abused. I meant it when I said this is to help people, okay? And I'm not a fucking liar like some people I know.
After this video, nothing was really said from the both of them, at least not out in the public for their fans to see. There would be a lot of videos made about the subject, but it really didn't hurt Edward's channel. Edward would end up taking about 3 weeks off of ArcadeCraniacs, but once he returned, would continue to upload as if nothing happened. This channel would lose 20,000 subscribers, but with a kid audience, he was able to gain those subscribers back pretty easily. Edward hasn't rebranded the channel, and his banner for ArcadeCraniacs still features Nicole, which is pretty weird, at least to me. Nicole, on the other hand, took a couple weeks off of her main channel and has moved on with her life. The most upsetting thing out of this whole situation was the fact that people still supported Edward till this day. Even though his video views dropped immediately after Nicole uploaded her video, he still gained subscribers. Maybe not at the same rate, but it's not like his young fan base understands the severity of the issue at hand. I think this topic and situation died down way too quick, which was absurd to me to see this channel that would get 10 million views off of compilation videos fall out of relevancy so quick with this whole controversy. Anyways, I hope this video explained more of the issues surrounding ArcadeCraniacs, and if you were a big fan of them, at least you'd get somewhat peace of mind knowing the truth. This has been the dark side of ArcadeCraniacs. If you want to suggest video topics for me to cover in the future, the best way to do so is through Instagram. Follow me there and slide me a DM on who you'd want me to talk about in future videos. Also, we are extremely close to 100,000 subscribers, so do me a favor and leave a like and subscribe to get the channel just a little bit closer towards 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.